Back in studio with Dr. Rachel Eckel, who is a cosmetic
doctor.
Cosmetic doctor, yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking of esthetologist, a long, long word, but we're not going there. Cosmetic doctor. Doc, we were talking earlier about the reduction of fat in the body, and I am curious to find out what happens to the fat when you go through the process.
So we know that fat, which is also known as adipose tissue, is really sensitive to cold, specifically cold temperatures between -3 and -5. And what happens is that when you selectively target the fat cells with this machine, the fat cells crystallize, okay? And they undergo a process called apoptosis, which is just a long fancy word in medicine that means they die, okay? Yeah. And what happens over the next 3 months is that these fat cells are very naturally and safely removed by the body. So scientists at Harvard, because we're all about safety and efficacy and proving this, scientists in Harvard actually have studied over 5,000 patients that have had this procedure, and we know that there is no change in cholesterol levels, there's no change in body habitus, and what we do know though is that the stress that it puts on your body is equivalent to eating an extra French fry every day. Okay. So it's very safe, it's very effective, very natural process that the fat cells are eliminated. And usually we can start to see results in about 1 month's time because we have the latest machine, but maximum results take about 3 months to get, which is why Carnival is coming up.
Yeah, so now is the ideal time.
This is the perfect time. And what's great is we know we've gotten so many phone calls recently because Carnival is coming up. The uptake of this machine in Trinidad has been incredible. So much so, we're getting a second machine, okay? Because it runs nonstop, out of hours, weekends.
I mean, there's no harm to the body whatsoever.
The most common side effect that we see after people have had CoolSculpting is sometimes the area that you've treated can be a little bit red or itchy for a day or two afterwards, but it is transient. We give you a cream to put on it. Some people experience that, maybe about 5%, but it's very safe, very effective, and it has over 9 years of clinical research, proven, effective, safe, by Harvard University. And remember, this is the only FDA machine, cryolipolysis machine, that is approved for the non-surgical reduction of fat.
So if you are seeing other machines on the market, are those copycat machines then?
That's a great question. So what we see happening, not just here, but also in other areas around the world, is that you have these counterfeit devices. So they are saying they're the same thing as CoolSculpting, but literally no science, no efficacy, not FDA approved, not safe. And what we're seeing is a lot of side effects. So I've actually had a lot of patients come into my clinic with burns, horrific burns. And on the skin of color, this beautiful skin that we have in this country, a burn not only can mean a scar, but it can also mean an area of really dark hyperpigmentation afterwards that you can spend years battling to improve. Yes. So it's important that you do your research and you stick with things that are safe, effective, and proven.
How can you tell? How would you be able to tell? Any tips?
Unless it says CoolSculpting, it's not the original cryolipolysis.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the before and after photographs so that you can talk us through the process of what's happening here.
So here we see a patient who had 1 treatment, and this is 1 month later. And so this is the area underneath her this is called the lower bra fat, okay? And when you treat this area in a female, it gives you a really nice hourglass figure. Right. So that's a very popular request for patients who come in and say, I want the Kim Kardashian curves.
And you said that this is permanent. You don't have to keep doing it over and over again.
No, and okay, I'm going to give you a joke about this one. This guy actually says he looks like he gave birth in the after image. So this is 1 treatment, 1 month later, and we see a beautiful definition in his abdomen. And we know that it's permanent because beyond the age of 18, you cannot grow new fat tissue. So your fat cells are finite by the age of 18. But what happens is if you gain weight, the fat cells expand in size or decrease in size if you lose weight, but the number is the same after the age of 18. So once you freeze the area and you eliminate the unwanted fat cells, you can't grow them back.
What about diet? Do you have to change your diet? Do you have to exercise?
Diet and exercise have nothing to do with it. Okay. It's a proven technology. Once you have the treatment, you get between 20 and 33% reduction. However, the ideal candidate, now that you bring that up, is somebody who diets and exercises, but just has this stubborn area of fat that no matter how much diet, how much exercise, how many sit-ups I do, I just can't get rid of this lower tummy, or maybe this stubborn love handle, which is very common in men.
Yes. You are a global key opinion leader in this area. Tell us what that's about.
So recently I got elected onto the CoolSculpting faculty to teach and train physicians internationally on this brand. So I'm very proud of this. I'm very proud of our country to be representing our country internationally, because the company has seen our success, they've seen our incredible results, and they've seen my passion. So in November of this year, at the largest cosmetic dermatology conference in Latin America, which is being held in Medellin, Colombia, I'm actually the keynote speaker for CoolSculpting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is fantastic. So it means that you'll be traveling around the world speaking on behalf of CoolSculpting, and you were selected from Trinidad and Tobago. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. And if persons want to make appointments to come in, is there a long waiting time? I'm sure there must be now, especially after this session.
So what's great is we actually have multiple providers. We have 3 cosmetic doctors at the clinic. We have 3 medical estheticians. We've got 2 nurses who perform the treatments. So we are well staffed. Even though I might be on the road teaching and educating and learning new things to bring back to Trinidad, I've got a huge staff complement there that are fully qualified, fully certified with CoolSculpting. And the number for the clinic is 622-SKIN.
Yes.
And in addition to that, we have a special on this week for CoolSculpting. So we have huge discounts on only this week, and there's only a limited amount of them. So I would advise you make your phone call, come in for a consultation. I'd love to meet you, give you a little squeeze, and see if you're a candidate.
What's next for you, and what's next for CoolSculpting?
So the next thing with CoolSculpting is that we're going to become a dual sculpting practice, which means that we are going to be the 1% of the 1% that have 2 of these machines. So we can knock out areas in half the time. So if you want to do your back and your tummy at the same time, we can have 2 machines going at the same time. In addition to that, we are the largest provider in the Caribbean. So we do some of the biggest volumes, we get some of the most amazing results, and Trinidadians, my patients, love their results. And we, as you've seen today, and this is just a small handful of my patients, but if you go on my social media, you'll see tons of before and afters.
Yes, thank you so much. And your social media is at Dr. Rachel Eckel, very easy for persons to go online. I know they're probably Googling you already. And a very easy number to call, 622-SKIN, if you want to be part of this exciting and find out more about the truth about fat reduction. I'm going to give you a call.
I'd love to have you.
Thank you, Dr. Rachel Eckel, for coming on and sharing this useful information, exciting information, brand new information here. And good luck in Colombia.
Thank you.
Yeah.